Every day, hundreds, if not thousands, of visitors pause at Liverpool's Pier Head to photograph themselves alongside the Beatles statues. Yet there's more to these bronze figures than meets the eye. Subtle symbolic elements woven into the likenesses of John, Paul, George, and Ringo often go unnoticed, but each offers a small window into their individual stories. Mike Keating, author of Secret Liverpool, an unusual guide, notes that while the statues are impossible to miss, most tourists focus on quick, flat snapshots that fail to capture the richer meanings hidden within. Sculptor Andy Edwards, tasked with creating the tribute, embedded delicate, personal references in each figure, small but telling nods to their pasts and legacies. The sculptures took inspiration from an early photograph of the so-called lovable mop tops, once displayed in the window of HMV's Liverpool One store. Edwards was commissioned for the project by sculptor Chris Butler and spent 6 months crafting the piece. Throughout the process, he played a hard day's night on a continuous, silent loop in his studio, hoping to capture the energy of the group before superstardom overtook them. The arrangement at Pier Head mirrors the order in which the band stood on stage before they stopped touring. Each figure walks slightly out of sync with the others and carries a symbolic object. John Lennon's detail is perhaps the most moving. In his cupped hand, he holds 2 acorns cast from nuts collected in New York's Central Park, near the Dakota building where he lived and where his life was tragically cut short. The acorns recall the late 1960s Acorns for Peace campaign that Lennon and Yoko Ono launched, sending acorns to world leaders as a call for unity. Paul McCartney's symbol is a camera case slung over his shoulder, a quiet nod to his marriage to photographer Linda Eastman, who documented much of his post-Beatles life. For Ringo Starr, the tribute lies at his feet. The sole of his boot bears the imprint L8, the postal code for Toxteth, his birthplace, a small reminder of his roots despite a life spent on the global stage. George Harrison's feature carries a spiritual resonance. A belt hanging from the back of his coat is inscribed with Sanskrit verse, reflecting his deep connection to Indian traditions and his involvement with the Hare Krishna movement. The inscription's origin was unusual. During the statue's creation, 3 local gong players visited Edwards' studio, one of them bringing a large gong from Harrison's old school. They performed the Gayatri Mantra, and the next day, Edwards decided to engrave the prayer onto Harrison's belt.